So you're coming down here, feels like a normal deal. Then what?
I jumped in Mike's truck, took off, and next thing I know, a plane car tried to block me off. I swerved and went around it, and then when I looked up, the intersection was blocked. The cops had the intersection blocked off, and I knew it was a setup.
Did you feel like it was going to happen? Was there any kind of like...
Nah, it was normal. I mean, he knew how to run a dope by.
Yeah.
Me and him, it did enough.
And was this guy a longtime friend of yours? Or?
Yeah, he's my old supplier, Danilo Blandon.
Okay, so Blandon's the one that set you up.
Yeah,
Got
Blandon
it.
the one that set me up.
Okay. And Blandon was your connect in Miami.
Miami, L.A.,
but he was from...
Cincinnati.
Was he Nicaraguan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're coming down here, feels like a normal deal, then what?
Well, they wouldn't do the deal that night, because they didn't want to do it at night. They knew I was going to run, I guess. They knew my MO. I ran, too. So they stalled us off that night, and the next morning they called. We got up. We took them the money. We handed them the money. They took us to where the drugs were supposed to have been at in the car. He gave me the keys. I threw the keys to Mike. Mike jumped in the car, took off. I jumped in Mike's truck, took off, and next thing I know, a plane car tried to block me off. I swerved and went around it. And then when I looked up, the intersection was blocked. The cops, black and whites, had the intersection blocked off, and I knew it was a setup.
Yeah. How'd that feel? Like knowing that somebody... yeah.
Everything started flashing in my head. My kids, who would ask me, don't leave no more. They start flashing in my head that now I was going to leave them forever. I probably would never see them again. This was 100 kilos.
Right.
Helicopter popped up.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to be hard to get away.
Yeah.
It was just a setup, man. And then while I'm running, I see Danilo Blandon laughing at me. And I'm feeling like, dang, I thought this dude was my friend.
Right.
Like all the stuff we done together, this is how it ended up.
And it sounds like you grew up in a very loyal neighborhood, right? People don't rat on each other. People are loyal to each other.
Back then, yeah, more so than now.
Yeah, but I mean, so for somebody who grew up, and I think loyalty is one of my favorite features of a person. When I have a friend who's loyal to me, I am almost stupidly loyal like a dog to them. I just feel like that's the right thing to do. So when somebody turns on you, especially, it's not just like over a little bit of money. This is your life you're talking about. It's got to feel...
Yeah. And I was still naive. Even when I was sitting in prison, I was like, oh, he ain't going to show up to court.
Yeah.
He was just trying to get out of jail. And then even Gary didn't think it was going to show up. Gary Webb, who broke the story. Gary was like, he ain't showing up to court. And I was like, Gary, if he don't show up to court, I walk.
Yeah.
Gary was like, oh, no, he got too much luggage. They don't want him to talk. And,
who's they?
He was saying that the government didn't want him to talk.
Yeah.
And then when I walked out, they never made me a deal either. We tried to plead guilty to 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take 20.
Yeah, well, it's federal stuff, right? So they they convict.
We already know they're gonna convict.
Yeah.
And with my case, my jury instructions was entrapment.
Mm-hmm.
Which is you done told the LA Times you love selling drugs, and now you're gonna say you entrapped.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck. Kind of like what Keefe D got himself into.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Keefe D told everybody what he did without telling them, right? I mean, you went on Vlad. He also went on Vlad and told on himself.
Yeah. I went to LA Times though.
Yeah.
This is before Vlad.
Right. That's funny. Oh, so you said, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I said to the LA Times when I got out the first time. LA Times interviewed me.
Yeah.
And that's what, LA Times went against Gary's story.
Yeah.
In this article, LA Times said that I was the McDonald's or the Walmart of crack.
Yeah.
And
well, at some point you were doing more sales than Walmart was, right?
That's what my lawyer said.